Hello everyone, thank you for being part of the Chelsea chapter, and please subscribe and ring that notification bell so you do not miss it on whatever I've got to bring to as long as this post and as long as it is Chelsea related right about here, the Chelsea chapter with me, your very host, Abu KALS, as I'm definitely dedicated to bring to you the latest straight as it comes in. It will be remembered that the club Chelsea is looking at reinforcement in different fields, but we are dedicating this episode to MOISES CAICEDO, who is a defensive midfielder, and all we're going to be talking about today is MOISES CAICEDO and his move to the club Chelsea, and what is happening, what is surrounding his move to the club Chelsea, and where has the club Chelsea reached after the fact that there was a rejected bid. What is the next for the club Chelsea when it comes to this transfer? Anyway, let's get the party rolling. It will be remembered that MOISES CAICEDO is one of the best defensive midfielders in the Premier League, and the fact that he's been playing for Brighton and Hove, that really only that the fact that he's been playing for Brighton and Hove, you can tell he's a very good football player. Brighton and Hove has really brought up quite good football players. You can see the likes of Alexis McAllister, you can definitely see Marc Cucurella, Leandro Trossard. All of these have come from Brighton and Hove, and they've excelled in the Premier League. And right about now, when you talk about the best, when you're talking about the best and the best defensive midfielder, you are talking about MOISES CAICEDO. So I will remember that Chelsea has had two bids rejected. The first bid that was rejected was from Chelsea, and that was £60 million. And the second bid that was rejected was £70 million, and that has been rejected. And right about now, Chelsea is not giving up, and the latest that we are getting is that Chelsea is preparing a third bid, and some sources are saying that Chelsea has already put in the third bid, with some sources saying that Chelsea is preparing it for set off. So MOISES CAICEDO is a very brilliant one, a very good one, and we really hope that he ends up at the club Chelsea, as Chelsea is looking on different ways how to approach this transfer, as it is well known that Chelsea, when it comes to transfers, Chelsea really never fails. And one of the big reasons as to why he's being valued quite a lot of money, he's being valued £100 million. The fact is, when you look at the football players that have been in this transfer season and also before, looking at a football player like Enzo Fernandez was valued at £106 million, something like that. And then also another football player that is in the range. Actually, for this one, it's just this summer transfer window. With Enzo, it was last general transfer window, I must say. But in this summer transfer window, there is a football player that went to Arsenal from West Ham, and that was Declan Rice, who is valued at almost the same level as MOISES CAICEDO. And Brighton and Hove are saying that if the club West Ham can manage to sell the football player at something that is around £105 million. If West Ham can sell a Declan Rice at £105 million, and it is reportedly said that MOISES CAICEDO is almost the same or even much better than Declan Rice, then the fact is that Declan Rice should even be more. But they have gone to £100 million, and they definitely are saying that they need £100 million. Short of that, they're not selling the football player. But the club Chelsea is going really is into negotiations. The club Chelsea is going into negotiations with the club Brighton and Hove to make sure that they can seal the deal for the football player. And what is the football player's opinion about all this that is going on? I will remember that MOISES CAICEDO came out and said a few things about what is definitely going on. He said that he's thanking the Almighty God for the fact that he's enjoying the stardom and everybody's talking about him, and I says he's not pulled out of the pressure that surrounds this the pressure that surrounds this transfer, with quite a lot of people talking about him, a lot of blogs, a lot of social media, is almost everywhere, everybody interested in MOISES CAICEDO. So he comes out and really clears the air and says that he is really into a move to the club Chelsea. When he was asked whether he would make a move to the club Chelsea. We'll remember that he came out and said he would really love to play for Chelsea, and if Chelsea really agrees with Brighton and Hove, he will definitely make a move to Chelsea. He's got no problem. Personal terms shouldn't be a problem with him, and also the fact that he would love to be really play for the club Arsenal. He said that he likes the surroundings, he likes London, so he definitely would really like to play for the club Chelsea. And Mauricio Pochettino is really looking for a partner that will really play with the one and only Enzo Fernandez, who's quite an expensive football player, record-breaking football player, really World Cup winner. And right about now, he is a bit lacking because he's lacking a talent, big talent, really, to get the best out of him. And Mauricio Pochettino really looked at one of the best signings that he can have to make sure that that field is a deal that is done, and he definitely had to go for MOISES CAICEDO. Two of the offers that were really rejected, £60 million and £70 million. We're now looking at the third offer, and the club Chelsea is not giving up on him. However, it will be remembered that now that the first and second have been rejected, first bid rejected, second bid rejected, now other clubs are also eyeing MOISES CAICEDO, thinking that possibly if Chelsea cannot sign him, they can definitely go for him. But from different sources that we are definitely getting, different sources are saying that the best and the biggest actually a club that is into this transfer is Chelsea, and Chelsea stands as the first and number one opinion option for the football player, and he would love to go to Chelsea. However, it will be remembered that he was linked to the club Arsenal in the last summer transfer window slightly, and very much in the January transfer window, but he ended up not going to the club Arsenal, was linked to Arsenal in the summer transfer window slightly, and then a general transfer window was quite a lot, but he ended up not going in the general transfer window. He remained at Brighton and Hove after Brighton and Hove saying that they definitely needed him for that season. And right about now, he's available, and you will remember that in the last general transfer window, he signed a long-term contract with the club Brighton and Hove, and that's what is making him very expensive and extremely expensive. And for some reason, we really thought that Brighton, and as how I really take it in and how I understand it, is that Brighton and Hove really anticipated that there is going to be quite big demand for MOISES CAICEDO in the summer transfer window, and they told him to sign a new long-term contract so that they can sell him for big amount of money, and that is exactly what is happening. Brighton and Hove, for a fact, it is into selling the football player, despite the fact that he is a good one, and they would like to spend a bit of time with him, make sure that he plays for them, but it's not happening. It will be remembered still that the current manager of Brighton and Hove, Roberto De Zerbi, really came out and said a few things about his move, about the move of the Brighton and Hove superstar MOISES CAICEDO. Him saying that Brighton and Hove are a football club that have no aim of really becoming a top club 1, 2, 3, 4, but they ended up in the 6th position, which is really okay. They were very comfortable with that position, and now they say that they build football players. That's how they really do. They build football players and sell these football players to big clubs. And I think they've built the football player MOISES CAICEDO, and it is time for MOISES CAICEDO to make a move to the club Chelsea. And that's what they do. And for some reason, I think they understand what they really do. That's how they run their business, and how they run their business is nothing to concern us. Anyway, let's really hope that things go on quite well. But being valued at £100 million, I think the fact that £60 million has been rejected, £70 million has been rejected, Chelsea is preparing a bid, third bid, and as far as I understand, this bid can be close to £80 million. It might be around £80 million is what the club Chelsea is going to be bidding for the football player. But from what again I got was that the club Chelsea is saying by fair means or foul they're going to be getting the football player MOISES CAICEDO, and the fact that he's expensive, they're also willing to put in quite a lot of money. But it will be remembered still that the club Chelsea has quite a lot of fans on their exposure. The fact that they have already sold, they've already sold a big number of football players. Quite a big number of football players have already left the club Chelsea. That definitely means that there is quite a lot of money on their exposure, on Chelsea's exposure. There is big money. So I think that that money really can be used to get a few more football players. So let's really think that things will definitely go on quite well for the club Chelsea, as we definitely know that a big number of football players who've left should really be bringing quite a lot of money to the football club. I'm trying to look for what MOISES CAICEDO really said about the club. He says, I can't say no because it's a very big, historic and beautiful team, and the city as well is beautiful. On how he feels with the speculation and noise around him, he continued, it's very great. It's a very great emotion, and what guy wouldn't want them to be talking about him? Anyway, that's what he really said, and there's quite a lot. There's definitely quite a lot that is going on in the camp of Chelsea, and but we've definitely gone on to say that we're giving this episode to the club Chelsea, really, and not Chelsea, but MOISES CAICEDO. We're going to be talking about MOISES CAICEDO in this transfer win, in this section. All we're going to be talking about is MOISES CAICEDO. So if you are interested in the MOISES CAICEDO transfer, please subscribe and ring that notification bell, as I'm more than interested in bringing to you the latest rate as it comes in, as the club Chelsea really are more than interested in signing MOISES CAICEDO, with quite a big number of football players that have been linked to the club Chelsea. Chelsea is only looking at one football player right about now. Chelsea is not looking at a number of football players. It's looking at one football player to make sure that they can fast make it a deal that is done, sealed, and confirmed. However, it's not that they are looking at only one, but the main focus, the center of focus, is one football player, and that's Declan Rice. Why is Declan Rice in my mind? Declan Rice left MOISES CAICEDO. Anyway, MOISES CAICEDO, let's really hope that he gets to the club Chelsea, as Declan Rice was a big target for the club Chelsea, but Arsenal ended up signing him at £105 million, with quite a big number of football players that have already joined the club Chelsea, with the likes of Nicholas Jackson, Christopher Nkunku, with also the likes of the latest signing, who is called Angelo Gabriel. Chelsea really is looking at working very hard to make sure they can get a football player, MOISES CAICEDO, and there is nothing that's going to be stopping MOISES CAICEDO from joining the club Chelsea, as it stands by now. Personal terms shouldn't be a problem whatsoever, and also we definitely know that for a fact MOISES CAICEDO wants a move away from Brighton and Hove, and the fact that there are very many clubs that are looking for him. He also elaborated that he would love to go and play for the club Chelsea. The fact that he loves London, he can have his London at Chelsea. Anyway, let's hope really everything goes on quite well and as planned for the club Chelsea, as Mauricio Pochettino is looking at making sure that he can get two football players together, and that's MOISES CAICEDO and Enzo Fernandez, and I think that would be quite great, because the pair would really work so well. I think that pair would really do quite a bit of magic. So I think also Chelsea need to sign a few more football players, because a lot of football players really have left the club, and that definitely shows you that a lot of football players also need to get to the club. You can let us know what you definitely think about what the football player MOISES CAICEDO's transfer, what you think about him, and whether you think he could be a good signing for the club Chelsea, as Chelsea is very interested in signing him, and Chelsea going on that the deal is always very close until they break it down. But we hope that the third bid is going to be an improved bid and a much more better bid than what the club has had before. And as I anticipated, it could be something close to 80 million pounds. So if it is around 80 million pounds, there should be nothing that's going to stop the club Chelsea from getting the football player. And if Chelsea can get MOISES CAICEDO, I think the midfield section, midfield revamp at the club Chelsea should really be considered as done. Otherwise, I think I should say thank you. It's been MOISES CAICEDO that we've been talking about today in this episode. Thank you for being part of the Chelsea chapter, and please subscribe and ring that notification bell so that you do not miss out whatever I've got to bring to, as long as it's sports and as long as it's Chelsea related right about here at the Chelsea chapter with me, your very host, Abu KALS. Thank you and goodbye for now.